Greg Turner, firefighter extraordinaire and walking Greek god, stood in front of me, arms crossed, looking like he was seriously reconsidering his career choices. "Let me guess," he said dryly. "You were cooking again?" I scowled. "You make it sound like a crime." Greg gestured toward the building, where a faint smell of burnt bread and regret still lingered in the air. "Well, considering how often you set off the alarm, I wouldn't rule out jail time." Gasps of betrayal echoed around me. Okay, fine. It was only one gasp, but it was from Mrs. Henderson, my elderly neighbor, who had absolutely believed I was an innocent victim of faulty wiring. I cleared my throat. For the record, it was just a grilled cheese. Greg's jaw twitched. "Tia." I straightened my back. "Yes." "How?" he asked, too patiently. "Do you burn a grilled cheese so badly that it triggers an actual fire alarm?" "Skill?" Greg groaned and rubbed his temples like I had physically caused him pain. "This is the third time this month." "You say that like it's a bad thing," I muttered. He blinked at me. Then he turned to his crew, who were already packing up the hose without even bothering to go inside. "False alarm," he told them. Again. I folded my arms. "Well, you don't have to sound so disappointed. One day, I might actually need rescuing." Greg shot me a look. "Tia, if you ever need actual rescuing, I have a feeling it'll be because you somehow trapped yourself in your own fridge." My jaw dropped. Rude. But before I could defend my honor, he was already walking away. "Turn off your stove next time. Gummy," he called over his shoulder. "I'd like to go at least 1 week without seeing you in your pajamas." Oh, I was going to fight him. Or, worse, I was going to fall in love with him. And honestly, I wasn't sure which option was more dangerous. Chapter 2, I hated Greg Turner, okay? Maybe hate was a strong word. But I definitely wanted to accidentally trip him the next time he walked past me. For 3 days, I had successfully avoided him. No more alarms, no more firefighters, no more embarrassing conversations where he looked at me like I was the biggest disaster to ever exist. I was doing great, and then I ran into him at the grocery store. Literally. Like, full-body collision. Knock my own basket over, send a can of beans rolling under the shelves kind of collision. "Whoa," Greg said, catching my arms before I could hit the floor. "Tia?" I blinked up at him. "Nope, never heard of her." He sighed. Loudly. "You're holding a bag of marshmallows with your name on it." I looked down. Yep, there it was. The grocery store had that cute little custom name label thing, and I had, in a moment of pure brilliance, gotten a bag of marshmallows labeled Tia's emergency snacks. Greg's lips twitched. "Planning your next fire alarm?" I scowled. Haha. Very funny, firefighter man. But instead of letting go of me, he tilted his head. "Wait, why do you have 3 jars of peanut butter?" I gasped. "How dare you judge my groceries? What if I have a peanut butter addiction? What if I eat it with a spoon straight out of the jar? What if—" Greg held up a hand. Okay, I get it." He bent down to grab the can of beans I had sent rolling across the aisle. "So, you're a peanut butter person." Noted. I squinted at him. "Why do I feel like you're going to use this information against me?" He smirked. "Because I am." I gasped dramatically. "You're a menace to society." Greg laughed, and something about the sound made my stupid heart do a weird little flip. I shook my head. No, absolutely not. I was not crushing on the man who had publicly humiliated me in front of our entire building. Greg handed me the can of beans and nodded toward my basket. "Try not to set off any alarms with that peanut butter, Gummy." I narrowed my eyes as he walked away. Oh, it was war now. Chapter 3, I was plotting my revenge. Greg Turner thought he was funny. He wasn't. He was rude, insufferable, and, worst of all, smug about it. But I had a plan. A brilliant, foolproof plan. Step 1, avoid him. Step 2, act completely normal and functional so that he'd stop looking at me like I was a walking hazard sign. Step 3, if steps 1 and 2 failed, challenge him to a highly dramatic peanut butter related bet. Because if there was one thing I knew about Greg Turner, it was that he had too much pride to back down from a challenge. The opportunity came 3 days later. At the worst possible moment. It was a Sunday. A beautiful, peaceful Sunday. I had just sat down in the lobby of my building with a cup of coffee when the front doors swung open and in walked Greg. In full firefighter uniform. Looking ridiculously good, my peaceful Sunday was ruined. Before I could escape, he spotted me and smirked. "Tia," he said, strolling over like he wasn't the single most annoying person on earth. "Haven't seen you in a few days. No cooking disasters." I narrowed my eyes. "Not that it's any of your business, but I actually made pasta yesterday." Greg leaned against the counter, looking way too amused. "Did it survive?" I gasped loudly. "Excuse me. I'll have you know it was completely edible." His smirk grew. "Did you burn the water first?" "Oh." It was on. I set my coffee down and pointed at him. "You think you're so funny, huh?" Greg shrugged. "I mean, yeah. Okay, firefighter man. Let's make a bet." His brows lifted. "A bet? That's right." I crossed my arms. "I bet I can go an entire month without setting off the fire alarm." Greg snorted. "Tia, you can't go a week. Watch me." I leaned in. "And if I win, you owe me, a lifetime supply of peanut butter." Greg blinked. "A lifetime supply?" "That's right. And if I lose, I paused. "Wait, what do you want?" Greg grinned, slow and lazy. "If you lose, you have to come to my station and cook dinner for my entire team." Oh no. I tried to look unfazed. "Fine. Deal." Greg extended a hand. "Shake on it." I shook his hand before I could think twice, and as soon as I did, I realized something. I had just made a very, very bad decision. Chapter 4, I had never regretted anything more in my life. Okay, maybe that wasn't true. I also regretted eating an entire tub of ice cream before a job interview once. But this was definitely in my top 5 worst decisions. I had bet Greg Turner, a man who literally worked in fire prevention, that I could go a month without setting off a fire alarm. A month. IT had only been 2 days, and I was already feeling the pressure. Day 3 of the bet, I was standing in my kitchen, staring at my stove like it was an actual enemy. I had Googled how to cook without setting off a fire alarm, and the first result was, just don't burn things. Useless. I picked up a spatula and carefully flipped my pancake to so far, so good to no flames. No smoke. No beep. Beep. Beeped. Oh, no, the fire alarmed. My soul left my body. I frantically grabbed a dish towel and started waving it at the alarm like my life depended on it. No. Not today, Satan. Beep. Beep. Silenced. I froze. I had stopped it. I had actually stopped it. I exhaled deeply and wiped my forehead. Crisis averted. Then I turned around and screamed, because standing in my doorway, looking way too smug for his own good, was none other than Greg Turner. "Hey, Gummy," he said, leaning against the door frame. "Everything okay in here?" I narrowed my eyes. "Why are you in my apartment?" Greg held up a spare key. "Your landlord gave me this." I gasped. "Why?" Greg grinned. "So I can check on you when you inevitably lose the bet." Oh, It was Ward. I pointed a dramatic finger at him. "I am going to win this bet, Turner." He chuckled, turning to leave. "Sure, Gummy. Sure." As soon as he was gone, I collapsed against the counter. This man was going to be the death of me, and I wasn't sure if I hated it or if I kind of liked it. Chapter 5, I had one mission, to prove Greg Turner wrong. That's IT'd simpled SO when my best friend, Maya, suggested that we have dinner at my place instead of ordering takeout. I saw it as the perfect opportunity. "Let me get this straight," Maya said, lounging on my couch while I carefully measured out ingredients. "You made a bet with the hottest firefighter in town, and instead of losing on purpose so you can see him more, you're trying to win?" I scowled. "I'm trying to win because I have dignity." Maya popped a chip into her mouth. "You set off a fire alarm making grilled cheese." I ignored her. Tonight's menu? Homemade spaghetti. Greg would not get the satisfaction of seeing me failed. I turned on the stove and stirred the sauce, feeling powerful, competent, unstoppable. Then my phone buzzed. "Greg, do I need to have the station on standby tonight?" I gasped in outrage. "See," Maya said through a mouthful of chips. "He's flirting with you." He's not flirting, I muttered, typing furiously. Me. You're so annoying, Greg, and you're stalling. Don't burn anything, gummy.oh.it was on. I slammed my phone down, gently, because I was broke, and turned back to my sauce point 20 minutes later. I was pleased with myself. Nothing had caught fire. Nothing had exploded. I was about to serve a completely normal, fire-free meal. I grabbed the pot of spaghetti and dropped it right onto the stove. The burner sizzled dramatically. Steam shot into the air. I shrieked. Maya shrieked, and then beep. Beep. Beep.no. Maya threw herself off the couch. Tia. The bet. I know. I grabbed the nearest towel and started fanning the smoke alarm like my life depended on it. I can fix this. Beep. Beep. Silenced. I froze. We both looked at each other. Then, very slowly, Maya pulled out her phone. Don't, I warned. She grinned like a villain. I'm texting Greg. No. I lunged for her, but she was too fast. She hit send, and less than 5 minutes later, there was a knock at my door. I opened it. Greg stood there, arms crossed, looking too pleased with himself. So, he said, eyes glinting with mischief. Dinner went well? I was going to scream. Chapter 6. I was not going to let Greg Turner ruin my night, even if he was standing in my doorway, smirking like he just won the lottery, even if he was the most annoying person on the planet. Even if he looked obnoxiously good in that fitted t-shirt that did unholy things to his arms. Focus, Tia. Greg leaned against the doorframe. So, should I be concerned that your fire alarm went off again? It did not go off, I lied, crossing my arms. Maya cackled from the couch. Oh, it definitely did. I narrowed my eyes at her. You're a traitor. Greg sighed dramatically. Tia, we're only 6 days into this bet. At this rate, you're going to be cooking dinner for my entire team by next week. I lifted my chin. Not happening. Greg's eyes twinkled with amusement. You sure about that? Maya perked up. Actually, Turner, since you're already here, why don't you stay for dinner? I snapped my head toward her. She smirked. I was going to kill her. Greg, of course, acted like this was the best idea in the world. I'd love to. Oh no. Before I could protest, he walked inside and made himself at home, sitting at my tiny kitchen table like he belonged there. I forced a smile. Totally fine. I could handle this. I set a plate in front of him, then took the seat across from him. Greg picked up his fork and took a bite. I held my breath. His chewing slowed. He swallowed. Then, he smirked. I braced myself. It's not bad, he admitted. Maya gasped. Wait, did Tia actually make something edible? I pointed my fork at her. You're supposed to be on my side. Greg chuckled, then took another bite. Seriously, Gummy. I'm impressed. No fires, no smoke, and I don't feel like I'm going to die. That's a win. I blinked. You thought my cooking would kill you? He shrugged. I wasn't ruling it out. I kicked him under the table. Greg laughed, and something weird happened in my chest. I ignored it. This was just dinner. A totally normal, totally casual, absolutely not a date dinner. Nothing more, right? Chapter 7. I was handling this. Totally fine. Greg sitting across from me? Not a big deal. The fact that he kept smiling at me like I was adorable? Also not a big deal. The fact that my stupid heart did a weird, fluttery thing when he complimented my cooking, okay, that one was a little bit of a big deal, but I could ignore it. I focused on eating, pretending that my best friend wasn't watching us like she was taking notes for a romance novel. Greg leaned back in his chair. You know, Gummy, I'm impressed. I narrowed my eyes. Why do I feel like there's an insult coming? He smirked. No insult. I'm just surprised you're actually sticking to this bet. I scoffed. Wow, thanks for the support. He raised an eyebrow. You set off a fire alarm making oatmeal. It was an accident. Maya burst out laughing. Oh my God, I forgot about that. Greg grinned. I didn't. I groaned and dropped my forehead onto the table. Greg chuckled. Come on, Gummy. I'm just saying, it's kinda cute how hard you're trying. I froze. Did he just call me cute? Maya gasped dramatically. Oh, my. God. Are you flirting? Greg grinned at me. I think she's blushing. I snapped upright. I am not. Greg's smirk widened. You totally are. Maya gasped again. Oh my God. She is. I pointed my fork at both of them. I hate you. Both of you. Greg just smirked harder. I shoved another bite of spaghetti into my mouth to avoid saying something dumb. Like, I don't actually hate you, Greg Turner, and it's really annoying how nice your stupid firefighter arms look in that t-shirt. Greg stretched, flexing obnoxiously. Maya looked between us, her smirk growing. So, what's the bet again? Greg didn't take his eyes off me. If she sets off the alarm again, she has to cook dinner for my team. Maya grinned. And if she wins? Greg's smirk turned lazy. She gets a lifetime supply of peanut butter. Maya snorted. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Excuse you, I said. That's an amazing prize. Greg chuckled, then leaned forward, resting his arms on the table. Tell you what, Gummy, if you actually win this bet, I'll take you out to dinner. I choked. Maya gasped for the third time in 10 minutes. Greg just smirked. And I was screwed. Chapter 8, I could not believe this. Greg Turner, the bane of my existence, the reason for my stress wrinkles, the smug firefighter who lived to annoy me, had just asked me out. Sort of. Technically, he framed it as a reward if I won the bet, which meant that if I lost, I'd have to cook for his team. But if I won, Greg Turner would take me on a date. I was spiraling. Maya, being zero help as usual, was practically vibrating with excitement. Wait, so you're telling me that if you actually manage to cook for a month without burning your apartment down, you get a date with Greg? Greg smirked. Sounds about right. I flailed uselessly. That's not what happened. Greg tilted his head. Are you backing out? My jaw dropped. Backing out? Backing out? Oh, it was on. I squared my shoulders. No way. I'm going to win this bet, Turner, and when I do, you're going to have to sit across from me at a nice restaurant and suffer. Greg chuckled. Looking forward to it, Gummy. OH.OHNOG. Why did he say it like that? 3 days later I was losing my mind. Ever since Greg's date proposal, I'd been acting weird. Like, overly cautious. Making sure nothing caught on fire weird. I had Googled how to cook safely like an adult, and watched 4 hours of videos on kitchen safety. I had bought a fire extinguisher, and I had even considered briefly texting Greg for tips, but that felt like cheating. Which led me to my current problem. I was so focused on avoiding setting off the fire. Alarm that I may or may not have almost set my shirt on fire instead. The second my sleeve brushed the burner, I yelped and jumped backward like I'd been electrocuted, which was exactly when my phone rang. I snatched it up, still panicked from my near-death experience. Hello? A deep chuckle came through the line. Greg. Hey, Gummy, he said, amusement thick in his voice. You sound out of breath. Did you? I didn't burn anything, I blurted out. Silence. Then, Greg laughed, like full-on, deep, belly laughter. I groaned and dropped my forehead onto the counter. Why are you calling me? Greg snickered. Just checking in. Making sure the fire department doesn't need to stop by tonight. I grumbled. I hate you. Greg's voice was all smug amusement. No, you don't. I lifted my head and narrowed my eyes at the phone. How would you know? There was a beat of silence. Then, in a voice way too confident for my liking, Greg said, because you're still talking to me, Gummy. I gasped at OH. He was too smooth. Before I could recover, Greg added, see you soon. Then he hung up. I stared at my phone. I was in so much trouble. Chapter 9, I had made a grave mistake. A mistake so huge that it might ruin everything. Tia Gummy, in a moment of utter weakness, had accidentally invited Greg Turner over for dinner. How did this happen? Let's rewind. IT started with Greg texting me a dumb joke about how firefighters should get hazard pay just for knowing me. I had, very maturely, responded with an eye-roll emoji. He texted back, "What's for dinner tonight, Gummy?" And for some reason, instead of ignoring him, I typed, "Why? You want to come over and judge it in person?" I had meant it sarcastically, but Greg, being the absolute menace that he is, replied 2 seconds later with, "Sure. What time?" I stared at my phone. My soul left my body because, oh my god, I had accidentally invited him for real, and he said yes. An hour later, Maya was screaming, "You're telling me that Greg Turner, the hot firefighter you pretend to hate, is coming over for dinner?" I paced the kitchen. "It was an accident." Maya snorted. "Sure it was." I stopped pacing long enough to glare at her. "It was." Maya, completely unfazed, smirked. "So what are you making?" "Spaghetti." She blinked. "Didn't you almost burn your shirt making spaghetti 3 days ago?" I groaned. "Why would you bring that up?" Before Maya could roast me further, there was a knock at the door. My stomach dropped. "Oh no. Oh. He was here." Maya grinned. "Good luck, bestie." I glared. "If I die, I'm haunting you first." Then I squared my shoulders, walked to the door, and opened it. Greg Turner stood on my doorstep, smirking, wearing a leather jacket, looking disgustingly attractive. I forgot how to breathe. "Hey, Gummy." His eyes twinkled with amusement. "You gonna let me in, or are we eating in the hallway?" I narrowed my eyes. "You're very smug for someone who's about to eat my cooking." Greg chuckled and stepped inside. "That's because I like living dangerously." I shut the door, and as I turned around, watching Greg make himself at home in my kitchen, one very dangerous thought crossed my mind. I might actually be starting to like him. I was doomed. Chapter 10. I had one job. Make dinner, serve it, and not embarrass myself. Naturally, everything went horribly wrong. Greg took his first bite of spaghetti. I watched him like a hawk. He chewed, swallowed, then he coughed. Twice. I panicked. "Oh my god. Are you choking? Dying? Do I need to call 911? Greg held up a hand, still coughing. "I'm fine. Just, wow. He cleared his throat. "Spicy." I blinked. "It's not supposed to be spicy." Greg looked at me. "Tia, my tongue is on fire." Maya, who was very conveniently still here, grabbed a forkful of my spaghetti and took a bite. 2 seconds later, she choked. "What did you put in this?" She wheezed. I stared at my plate. "Just salt, pepper, and some crushed red." I froze. Oh. Maya gasped. "How much did you use?" I gulped. "Like half the bottle?" Maya face-bombed. Greg laughed. I scowled. "Why are you laughing?" Greg wiped a tear from his eye. "Because you just accidentally tried to murder me with seasoning." I groaned and dropped my head onto the table. "I hate my life." Greg grinned. "I don't. This is the best dinner I've had in weeks." I lifted my head to glare at him. "Are you enjoying my suffering?" His grin widened. "Absolutely." Maya snorted. "You guys are ridiculous." Greg winked. "You love it, Gummy." I huffed. "I do not." Greg leaned forward, still smirking. "Then why are you blushing?" I choked. Maya gasped dramatically. "Oh my god, you are." I stood up so fast I knocked my chair over. "This dinner is over. Everyone out." Greg laughed the entire way to the door, and as I slammed it shut behind him, I realized something horrifying. Greg Turner had just seen me blush, and he was never going to let me live it down. Chapter 11. The next morning, I woke up to regret. Regret in the form of one smug firefighter blowing up my phone. Mobile phone Greg Turner. Morning, Gummy. Mobile phone Greg Turner. How's my favorite spice enthusiast doing today? Mobile phone Greg Turner. Your face turned redder than your spaghetti sauce last night. Mobile phone Greg Turner. Should I be worried? Are you allergic to compliments? I stared at my phone in horror. Oh, he was having way too much fun with this. Mobile phone me. I hate you. Mobile phone Greg Turner. No, you don't. Mobile phone me. Yes, I do. Mobile phone Greg Turner. If you hated me, why'd you invite me over? Winking face, I threw my phone across the bed and screamed into my pillow. Why was he so annoying? Why did I let him into my home? Why did I blush? Maya, who had zero respect for my suffering, waltzed into my room with a cup of coffee. You look like you fought a war in your sleep. I groaned. I did. A war against my own dignity. And I lost. Maya sipped her coffee like she had all the time in the world. So, Greg. I flopped dramatically onto my bed. He's so annoying. Maya smirked. And yet, you let him in your apartment. Cooked for him. Blushed in front of him. Don't say that word. Maya grinned. Oh, you're so doomed. 2 hours later, I had one goal today. Avoid Greg Turner at all costs, which, in theory, should have been easy. He was a firefighter. I worked at a bookstore. Our worlds should never collide. Except, I forgot one thing. Greg Turner was the pettiest human alive, because as soon as I walked into the bookstore, guess who was standing at the counter? Greg. Holding a cookbook that I froze. My coworker, Becca, beamed at me. Tia, this handsome firefighter says he's looking for a book on cooking. Greg grinned. Figured I'd pick up some tips. He held up the book, eyes twinkling with mischief. Maybe even find a recipe that won't send me to the hospital. I glared. I should have let the spice finish you off. Becca gasped. Tia. Greg just laughed, and in that moment, as I stood there, fuming, watching him enjoy himself way too much, one horrifying thought hit me. I didn't hate him. I liked him. I was in so much trouble. Chapter 12, I was having a crisis, a full-blown, heart-racing, brain-melting crisis, because I had finally admitted it to myself. I liked Greg Turner, and I wanted to throw myself into the sun. I paced. I like him, Maya. Maya sipped her juice. I stopped. Did you hear me? I like Greg Turner. Maya nodded. Yeah, we all knew that. I blinked. What? Maya gave me a pitying look. Tia, the entire town knew before you did. Greg knew before you did. Your cat probably knew before you did. I gasped. Greg knows? Maya smirked. Oh, he definitely knows. I collapsed onto the couch. I'm doomed. Maya patted my shoulder. Yes, but at least you'll have a hot firefighter to comfort you. I groaned. This is terrible. I don't know how to act around him now. Maya grinned. Oh, don't worry. I'm sure Greg will make it his personal mission to mess with you until you confess. I choked. I'm not confessing. Maya just sipped her juice again, looking smug. Sure. Whatever you say. I was still spiraling. SO when my phone rang and Greg's name popped up. I almost threw it out the window. I answered hesitantly. Hello? Hey, Gummy. His voice was too smugged. I squinted at the phone. Why do you sound like that? Like what? Like you're up to something. Greg chuckled. No reason. I narrowed my eyes. Greg. So, I was thinking, since you nearly killed me with spice, I owe you a near-death experience too. Fair's fair. I paused. What? Be ready at 6 tomorrow. I'm picking you up. Picking me up for what? You'll see. Gregory Turner. I swear to God, night, Gummy. He hung up. I screamed into a pillow. Tomorrow was going to be a disaster. And the worst part? I was weirdly excited. Epilogue. He's my disaster now. I was having flashbacks, specifically. Flashbacks of every time Greg Turner had made my life difficult. Like when he laughed at me getting stuck in a tree, or when he roasted my cooking like it was his life's purpose, or when he showed up at my workplace just to mess with me. And yet, despite all of that, here I was, holding his hand. Willingly. Flashback to. Last night Greg had driven us out of town to some small festival. Why are we here? I had asked. Greg grinned. Figured you should experience a fair without catching on fire or getting stuck somewhere. I glared. That happened one time. Greg snorted. Exactly. And I'm here to supervise. I crossed my arms. You just wanted an excuse to hang out with me. Greg didn't even deny it. He just gave me a lazy smile and said, busted. And that's when I knew I was completely gone for this man. Greg was on shift, and I had stupidly decided to drop by. He saw me immediately, smirked, and pulled me into a hug like it was the most natural thing in the world. Miss me already, Gummy? I rolled my eyes. No. I came to bring cookies. He raised an eyebrow. Homemade? I huffed. I didn't try to kill you this time. Greg grinned. That's progress. The other firefighters watched us like we were a TV show. Someone even whistled. When's the wedding? I choked. Greg just laughed and pulled me closer. Whenever she finally confesses she's in love with me. I froze. Excuse me? Greg winked. Take your time. I'll wait. I wanted to yell. I wanted to smack his stupid, smug face. But mostly, I wanted to kiss him. And judging by the way he looked at me, Greg Turner already knew that too. I was so doomed. But honestly, I didn't mind it one bit. The end. Bonus scene. The cat's POV, or my human is hopeless and I'm the only one with a brain around here. I knew my human was an idiot, but even I was shocked by how long it took her to realize she liked the firefighter. Honestly, embarrassing. Observations from the smartest creature in the apartment. Me, 1. She talks to herself about him. Constantly. OUGH. Why is Greg so annoying? OUGH. Why does Greg make me laugh? OUGH. Why is Greg so hot? Oh, me. Ma'am, I'm trying to nap. Shut up. 2. She changes outfits 5 times when she knows he's coming over. Oh, but then pretends she doesn't care. Oh, me. Coward. 3. She calls him when she accidentally burns her toast. Oh, human, you did that on purpose. Oh, I know what I saw. Point 4. She literally purrs when he calls her gummy. Oh, me. Disgusting. Have some dignity. And then there's the firefighter Greg. Oh, Greg knew exactly what he was doing. The man walked in here like he owned the place, scratched me behind the ears like he was my owner. Rude. Sat on my couch. My couch. Teased my human until she turned the color of a tomato. Amusing. Fed me chicken when she wasn't looking. Acceptable. Honestly, if he weren't so insufferable, I might actually approve of him, but I can't make this easy to S.O. Naturally, I'm going to cause problems on purpose. The plan. 1. Knock over her water bottle whenever she texts him. Point 2. Stare at him menacingly when he tries to kiss her. Point 3. Sit between them on the couch like a fluffy chaperone. Point 4. Meow dramatically if he tries to close the door to her bedroom. She may be an idiot, but she's my idiot. And if Greg Turner wants her, he's gonna have to work for it.